Hi, welcome to Home with Heena. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy dhokla. If you aren't familiar with dhokla, or dhokla as we call it in Gujarati, they can be steamed mini semolina cakes, which we're going to make today, or they can be made with lentils, which just takes a little longer since you need to soak the lentils and then grind them. Now typically they're eaten for breakfast or as a tea time snack, but in our house we like to eat them for lunch or dinner. We call it dinner cake, and if we call anything cake, the kids are a little bit more likely to eat it. Now, since Diwali is right around the corner, today we're going to make a rainbow dhokla, which is a little bit more festive and fun. And it's also a little bit more healthy since we're going to be using beet puree and spinach puree and turmeric for the natural food coloring. Now, if you don't have time and you want to skip the food coloring, that's fine. You can just make regular dhokla as well. Today, we are very lucky to have some of the world's famous sous chefs with us today. We have Veda, my adventurous eater, and we have Amir, Mr. Peanut Butter and Jelly and carrots and sweet potatoes every day. And pizza. Okay, so first, Veda, what are we going to add in?
The semolina. Semolina.
Okay, go ahead. Add it in for me.
Semolina.
Good job. Now, Amir, what are you going to add in?
The yogurt.
How much yogurt?
1 cup.
Good job. Let's add that in.
Not even 2 cups.
No, just 1 cup. Perfect. Good job. Now, okay, now we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of chickpea flour. And what?
Can I help you?
Of course. And what does chickpea flour
Can I have
good
the
for?
tiny one? It has protein.
Protein. That's right. Once I've mixed it, it'll have kind of like a thick pancake batter consistency, and we're going to cover it and let it sit for about 20 minutes, in which time we can get our veggie purees and our steamer ready. Okay, so now that my batter is resting, I'm going to show you how I made my purees, or my natural food coloring. Now for the spinach, it's really easy. All I used was an 8-ounce bag of baby spinach. I used a pot of boiling water, and I put the spinach into the boiling water, cook for about 30 seconds, remove it with a mesh strainer or a slotted spoon, put it directly into your food processor and blend. And in less than 5 minutes, you'll have about 1 cup of pureed spinach. Now for the beets, it's also very easy, but it's a little bit more time consuming. For the beets, I roast my beets. I always kind of have roasted beets in our house to use for salads and whatnot, so I'll roast them on the weekends. And what you do is you get a beet, wash it, cut off the stems, coat it in a little bit of olive oil, and wrap it tightly in foil. You're going to put that on a baking tray and into a preheated oven at about 425, and you'll bake it for about 50 to 60 minutes. You'll start smelling the sweetness of the beets when they're ready, but to test it, you can take it out and insert a knife. If it goes through smooth, it's ready. Let it cool, then you'll just peel it, chop it up, and put it into your food processor. Now when you're blending the beets, you might need to add a little bit more water to get more of that puree consistency. And this is how it'll look. Now, this always ends up being a little extra than what I'll actually use, so I'll use these baby food containers that I used when the kids were little, and I'll put the extra purees in here and freeze them, and whenever you're ready to make a colorful dhokla again, you can just take it out and use it. Now the steamer is also very easy. All you need is a big pot, or if you already have a steamer, you can use that. I'll fill it in with about a cup of water, and I'll put it on the stove to boil, and I have this nice little raised insert that I can put my tray on that will keep it away from the water, and that's it. And then you cover it, and that's your steamer. Okay, so my purees are ready, and I let my batter sit and separated them into 3 equal containers so we can make 3 different colors. Now, Vaid and Amir have come back to help me. And what color should we start with first, guys? What should we make first?
Yellow.
Yellow? Okay, good choice. Okay, so we lost one of our sous chefs to some Legos, but I have one left with me here. And we finished mixing the colors, and we added as much as we thought it was the right color. Now, typically if I'm just making one batch and not separating it into 3, at this point, I would add in 1 teaspoon of Eno. And if you don't have Eno, you can mix half a teaspoon of baking soda with half a teaspoon of lemon juice. And I would also be adding in 1 tablespoon of oil. Now that I've split it into 3, I'm going to split that into 3 as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add about a third of a tablespoon into each of these. And just eyeball it, it's fine. It'll just help it from sticking to the pan. And then, most importantly, is going to be the Eno, which is going to help it rise. Now, once I add the Eno, we have to be very careful because if we overmix it, you won't get a fluffy dhokla. And what we're going to do first is we're going to put a little bit of oil on this pan that I'm going to use. Veda, can you help me?
Sure.
Let's put just a tiny drop of oil, and now let's spread it with this brush.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Let's
brush it all around.
All around in every corner. Now, while she's brushing that, I just want to tell you is I'm going to put this in the steamer that I've already prepared. But if you don't have a tray like this and a nice little tong to lift it, is you can use any other steamer basket that you might have. And also, I like to make these cute little cakes out of them. If you have these silicone cups, they're great because you don't need to add any oil, extra oil to it, and they become little mini bite-sized cupcakes. But for today, we're gonna make it in here. All right, so it's all spread?
Yeah.
All right, so what layer should we do first?
Yellow.
Okay, yellow. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and add in about a third of a teaspoon of Eno. Okay, let's add it in and watch it bubble. Is it sizzling? Yeah. So let's give it a little light mix, not too much, because we want it to stay nice and fluffy. You can see
sizzle in a bowl.
It's nice and fluffy.
How does it sizzle in a bowl?
There's a sizzle, that's what the Eno does. Okay, now let's add, we're gonna do yellow layer first. Taken my tray out of my steamer. Now what I did is I had it on high and I steamed it for about 3 minutes on high, reduced the heat, kept the lid on, and cooked it for another 18 minutes or so. You just have to check it and see if it looks like it's set. And this is what it will look like. Now the colors are a little crazy right now since this was the order the children had selected. Though if you don't want to mix it all in one and have this kind of twirly color, you could even make each tray a different color and then put them in a plate together, which will also look very pretty. So now I'm going to cut them into triangles, and what I'll do in this tray is I'm going to make 1 incision in the middle. I'll make basically 3 lines. Okay, so now that I've cut them into the little squares, I'm gonna go ahead and use my spatula to take it off the sides, but since we added, coated some oil, it's not really sticking. And here are little pieces. Look how colorful they are. And let's see a couple more so you can see how it looks. And it pops just right out. And you have this bright, colorful dhokla.